Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to the channel. Today we're touring this beautiful single story. This is the Hydrangea model built by Taylor Morrison. And this home is a beauty because it's one of my clients' homes, and I love what he chose in it as far as the options and everything. As a matter of fact, he actually didn't choose them, but what we did here, we were able to secure this house in this crazy market about a month ago, and he's actually moving in right now pretty soon. We just did the orientation on the house, and I figured, hey, let's go ahead and make a video so we can go ahead and show them, everybody else, you know, what we know about the house, and it can also be a great point of reference for my client to come back and view the video whenever he wants, so he can go through all the items that we went through and he doesn't forget them. As far as this house, the Hydrangea model is a little bit over 2,000 square feet. It was purchased for about $467 total price. This is out the door, and we are in the beautiful North Las Vegas, a little bit south of the Aliante area. We're right next to the 215 freeway, and this is a beautiful community by Taylor Morrison. And on this one, you'll also see what we find as far as all the defects in the house and what an orientation would look like. So what I do here is I'm going to go through pretty much everything that the inspector found out about the house, or that taught us about the house, and then what I'm gonna do is, this video is probably gonna take a long time, so if you're just looking for the video tour of the house, it's gonna be a little bit different. Okay, so as we go here onto the side, we're gonna do a perimeter walk, and I'm gonna explain all the things on the side of the house, and then just walk all around, and then we're gonna go into the house, into the garage, and then walk in from the front so we can see a little bit the house, what it looks like and everything. As far as the outside, these are the lamps that are included. These are connected together with, that light right there for the number light is connected to, with the ring, with the bell right here, is connected to a transformer here in the garage, okay? Which we'll go over in a second. We'll see that later, what it is. And then you have these outside lights. And these are also connected to a receptacle here in the garage as well. It's one of those GFCI plugs that can be, restarted in case, something happens to the electricity. Now, as we walk here, we'll see we have our just a water feed right there for your hose, and then you have your gas meter right here, which this is where the gas people come out to fix anything or read the meter to see what if there's anything wrong with the house. As far as over here, this will be your electric panel. They do have a lock right here, so I can't open it, but this is where the NV Energy would come fix something. They have a special lock that only they can open from here, and they would open this one. So let's see what else. Over here, we had the pest control system. Now, this is from Home Team. What you have to watch out when you're buying a home right here is that these systems, sometimes they're installed by a company. For example, this one is Home Team, right? Now, what they do is sometimes they don't allow other companies to use this system. So I don't know how it works and how they don't allow it, but that's something to consider, because if you want to go and shop around for pest control and other things, they obviously are going to have this advantage because they already have this system installed. And what this system does is it has a pipe that goes all around the house that will discharge a little bit of this pest control product. So all they have to do with the pest control company, they just have to go in here, plug in, and they go ahead and spray in it, rather than having to go all around the house and spray on the house, to prevent pests from coming into the house. This would be your water system for your front landscaping. So as you can see, we do have some landscaping up here. What it does have also is a drip system. Okay, all of that goes through that valve right there. And it's also, I'll show you in a second though, but right here you have your control system as well. So this would be your, if you ever need to turn on the, the water right here for the irrigation, all you have to do is, you see, it's coming out. Because now it's shut off, I think. But it has a timer as well, so that you can, let me turn it off. So that just turned off, and I just turned it off right now. Now, it does have a timer system that is located into the garage, and we'll go over that in a second, okay? So all this front yard landscaping, it's all included in the base price, also these pavers. And then let's move down the aisle right here. Oh, I forgot to mention these down here. This is for the TV cable guy, and you know, they'll go in and they'll open these up whenever they come here, or the internet. So your Cox or your DirecTV, they'll come in here and just plug into that. So this is the irrigation system I said. And this is a wrap that prevents it from you know, it's a little bit of an insulation and prevents it from freezing, so that the water doesn't freeze in those pipes right there. Over here, this would be the discharge for your water heater. We do have a what's it called, tankless water heater, and that is the discharge for the air discharge from the tankless water heater, and we'll see it inside the garage later on. This will be your pressure valve release. So where the water comes out from the tankless water heater, is there's too much pressure in the tankless water heater. What happens is, because of the water pressure, what happens is the water just gets automatically discharged outside, so it doesn't get the inside of the garage wet. As far as this will be they capped off this one, which is the water irrigation system from the front. They passed a line out here with also some cable over here that is connected to that water irrigation system, that box that we're going to see in the garage. That way, if you do plan on doing some kind of landscaping here, putting in some plants or something, you can always extend this out to the back, and you can control it from your water system as well. So it comes in very handy. That way, you know, it's cheaper for you to go ahead and do that. As far as everything else here, not much to say about this. On the outside, everything looks good. What we did is we actually went through the house and we saw if there were any defects or anything that we needed them to fix. But look at this backyard. Now, Glenn, he's gonna watch this video, so let him know down in the comments, should he build a pool in this backyard? I mean, this is about 30 feet, probably at the longest side. Over here, you have about 25 feet, maybe, on this side. It would be great if you could put a nice pool right there, especially in this heat in Vegas. I don't know. Let us know down in the comments what you think about that. Let's see, what is this? Oh, this is just some tape coming out. As far as the back, you have those lights as well. Those are connected to that's connected to a switch inside. You have a plug right here, and it's obviously covered up because it's an outdoor plug. And then let's see what we have on the other side of the house. Beautiful deal that we got here, because it was you know, right in the craziness that's been happening. Is when we got this home, and it actually came off the market from somebody else that wanted it, and it was technically a spec home, but it's somebody else purchased this home, and then something happened. Most likely they weren't able to buy anymore, either because they weren't approved or because I don't know, they just changed their minds. It does happen, you know. Now, as far as this water right here that you see, it's actually because they came in earlier and they cleaned the house, so they dumped the water out here, and then you have a drainage system right there that goes underneath the air conditioning unit. That's because obviously we need to let the water go out, right? And as you can see, there's a little bit of a dip right here, because what they do is we want to keep the water away from the foundation of this wall and the foundation, obviously, because you want to keep that foundation pretty dry. Otherwise, what happens is if water collects down there, if it infiltrates down into the foundation, and it can cause, some structural issues in the future. So you got to make sure that when you do call your landscape guy, or if you do the landscaping, you don't alter what the landscape drainage system is. As you can see, there's one right here that they built that goes all the way out there and all the way out to the side of the house. So that's very important that you do, because what happens is, if you don't do that, the water will collect maybe next to the house, which is dangerous for the foundation. Over here you have your water hose and your gas line right here that will connect. Eventually, if you want to extend this gas line, you can bring your gas line over here, maybe, where you can have your barbecue and all. We just heard right now the air conditioning go off. Perfect timing. We got only one air conditioning unit right here. It's a Lennox. We got another plug right here. The reason why they put the plug right here next to outside and next to this air conditioning unit is because sometimes whoever comes here to fix this air conditioning unit, if there's any issue, will need some kind of plug. So this comes in very handy. So brand new unit. It only requires one. And let's see. These are the pipes. This is where the gas lines are. And they protect them, obviously, because we don't want them to freeze in the winter. Because, as a matter of fact, it does get pretty cold here in the winter, especially at nights. Because we can't open this, I think. Oh yeah, there we go. Right here, you can shut off the air conditioning unit if there's anything that you have to worry about. And then you can always restart it here if the air conditioning goes out. You can check into this box and see if it's working or not. This will be a discharge, I guess, for the I'm not sure for that one what that is. And then let's go over here and see if there's anything else that we need to worry about here. Oh, this would be the condensation line for the air conditioning unit. So this is where the water will come out. Whenever there's some humidity in the house, the air conditioning unit takes it and discharges it outside. And this is the pipe that where it comes out from. As you can see, there's a little bit of a hole here. That's because of the water dripping down, and it does happen because obviously, that's why we have air conditioning units. Anyway, let's go into the garage, and then we'll go inside the house. And yeah, super excited. We were able to get my client this house. They called me, actually. Glenn called me. He said, well, Jack, I am in need of a house, and I've been working with an agent, but he's not really familiar with what's happening in the market or with the new communities. It's been 2 months I've been looking. I haven't been able to find a house. Well, the same day that he contacted me, I reached out to Taylor Morrison, and within a matter of hours, we were able to find this property for him. That is the difference, literally, between a real estate agent that does not know about the new construction market versus a real estate agent that is a specialist in new homes. Because we are familiar with everybody. We know all the agents that work there. If there's something that's coming on the market soon or it's about to come off, we know before everybody else. As far as hiring a resale agent, they're probably not going to add much value to when you're purchasing a house. And the reason why is because they just don't know. And you're probably as good at going without an agent than going with an agent that does only resale homes. And I'll tell you, because I did resale myself. And when I was doing resale, I never came to new construction homes. I didn't know anything about these homes. And the reason is because we don't work with new construction. So when you hire a real estate agent, when you're buying a new home, make sure that they're very familiar with new homes and they know everybody in there, because it could make the difference on whether you're gonna buy a home or not, and if you're gonna get a good deal on it or not. And that's pretty much the difference between a good agent and a bad agent. So I just wanted to tell you guys about that also, because it is very important. And a lot of people get screwed, or they think, oh, I'm going in with this agent that is, does resale, and they're going to give you some kind of value. That's not the case. There's so many facets of buying a new home that you have to be aware of, and you need an expert next to you that can advise you. As far as this one right here, this will be your irrigation system. Right here is where you You can set it and forget it pretty much for the drip irrigation system, because this is very low maintenance. As you can see, we just have rocks, some plants. They'll be on a drip system. You don't have to worry about anything. It is connected also right here to your Wi-Fi for this, the Rainbird. So you could technically check this one off of your phone. You can download the app and you can change it eventually from your app. This plug right here, as a matter of fact, is a plug that is right in front of a gas line. You're never gonna use this one, but in the future, if you need to tap into the gas line, you can always go there and do that. As far as these plugs, this would be the receptacle, the GFCI plug for any lights or anything that happen, any lights outside. So those lights that we saw earlier outside, or any lights here in the garage. As a matter of fact, this LiftMaster right here, see how that light is on because the garage door is open. Now, if I test it right here, it came off. So all the electricity here in this garage is connected to this plug. And then what you can do is you can just reset it. So I press this middle button, and which is pretty tough to, okay, and boom, it's back on. So that is, they connect those and the garage lights to that receptacle, okay. Now this is a transformer. The reason why they have this transformer is because it's connected to the regular electricity line right there, but then it has to transform the electricity to a lower voltage to reach eventually this light right here, which is very low voltage light, because they don't want it to consume much energy, and it has to have that light always coming down, and also to reach your Ring, your doorbell. If you plan on putting a Ring doorbell or something, by the way, if you plan on doing that, what happens is, you need that electricity, but you can't put high voltage electricity here because it runs onto very low voltage. That's why you have that transformer there. Now this one, however, if you want to put a Ring doorbell, you just have to disconnect here. You'll have two wires, the white and red. You just have to connect it to your Ring doorbell and you're set. Also, something to consider is when you're buying a Ring doorbell, and you have a place like this one where it's facing that way, you might want to get one of those extensions that curve it's kind of like a wedge where it inclines the doorbell like this, so you can have a good view of anybody coming in. One thing I wanted to point out, for example, something we found right here, is look at this door. You see these lines right here? That's because they didn't do a good job at painting the door. So this is what we do during orientation. You go through the house and you see if there's anything wrong with the home as far as paint. Usually paint is all the issue. And call me picky, but I think this is a big deal for a new home builder, and they have to fix all of this. So we did put that into the order, and they're gonna fix it. Also right here, they changed this out because this is a keyless entry lock right here. You see this white thing right here? You have to paint this out right here because they replaced it. So they're gonna come in before we close, because this was just for orientation to see if there's anything wrong, and they're gonna come in and they're gonna go over those items with them. As far as this is the garage, so what you'll see right here is your main water system, which is this one, this line right here. You can close the water inside the house right there. Now it's closed, right? When it's following the same line as the pipe, what it means is that the water is going to flow, so it's open. And the same thing for this other valve right here. This would be the irrigation system valve, so you can turn off all the irrigation from this valve right here. As far as this would be a pressure release filter, just so they make sure there's not too much pressure. And then over here, this would be your water softener connection right here. This is what they call the water softener loop, and they did add this one to the house because what you do have here is you can connect your water softener here. This would be the overflow for the water softener system, which is connected to the laundry room, and I'll explain that later once we get to the laundry room. As far as this one right here, you have this LiftMaster door opener for the garage. This one actually has an app as well, so you can connect this to it's connected to your phone. I think it's genius because let's say you leave the house and you forget about whether or not you close the garage. You can always check on your phone and see if it's closed. If it's not, you can close it from your phone, which is beautiful. This garage is not finished, as a matter of fact, which is a bummer. I would figure, Taylor Morrison would finish garages, but usually what homeowners do is they come in and they finish off all the drywall. They just paint it and they call it a day. As far as that's another condensation line. I forgot what that one was for. This would be, if you know down in the comments, let us know what that one is for. I know they put it here so you can see it if water is dripping down in case there's a leak or something. But let me know if you know what that one is connected to. Over here, nice lamp right here. It's great, because in the garage sometimes they put the little bulb and you can't see crap. This is great, the fact that it has this tankless water heater. You save a lot of space right here when you buy a tankless water heater. Usually when you buy a full water heater, it's gonna have to stand on a block, and which takes away probably like a 3x3 space from your garage. Whereas when you have a tankless, you see, you're up there and you can store some things. And these are also some builders' leftovers that they left in case, there's a tile crack or something. We can go ahead and replace that. As well as the grout. And then, this is the tankless water heater right here. You can change the temperature and all. And not much to say about this one. And I think that we went over everything in the garage. And sorry if I'm being a little bit, nitty gritty and I'm going over every little detail. But, hey, this is for my client, so he has it in the future and he can go through, he can go through it later on in case he needs to refer to it, in case, he forgot something about the house. All right. Love this floor plan. Now it's time for the video tour of the inside. Now we already walked through it. We saw all the defects of the house. We pointed out everything that was wrong with the house. Your realtor should be there with you when you do the orientations. So that way he can also have an extra, pair of eyes on the house to make sure that everything looks good and in good conditions. We went over everything and we tried to fix, we point out all the issues, and you'll see some tape on the house. That's because on your orientation walkthrough, you go and you stick tape wherever you see a defect, and that way they can come in and fix it. We got a beautiful upgraded wood-like floor with a nice gray tone to it. The grout here is white, which I think it's a little bit of a bummer because what happens is, especially in high traffic areas, you're gonna get that grout that's gonna stain a little bit, it's gonna get darker. And I'm not really a fan of it, so this is gonna look kind of gray, whereas you're gonna have some areas where you don't step on often, like over here, it's probably gonna be wider. So what I would do in this case, if you had this situation, usually when you have a resale home, you do this, is you buy a sealer, and you put the sealer everywhere here so that it seals the grout, and it's not really porous like it is right now, that it's nice and dry and new, and you can put it anywhere here. And that way it's easier to clean when you do end up cleaning the house. As far as when you walk in here, you have a beautiful den over to the left. You have a bedroom over to the right and to the left as well. Okay, we got 9-foot ceilings in here. We got recessed lights everywhere. Like this nice, this white color, it really brightens it up. I think I would have chosen, there's 3 kinds of colors that you can choose from when you buy recessed lights. You have what they call a 5,000 kilowatt, a 3,000 kilowatt, and I believe it's 1,000 kilowatt. So I think this is, not kilowatt, whatever, the color, right? The 5,000, I believe, is the super white. The 3,000 is kind of like a daylight. And if you get the 1,000, it's like a really yellow light. Okay, so that's something to consider when you're buying home. You might want to change that color depending on your taste. Okay, we got even the pre-wire in every room, so you can add a ceiling fan with lights if you need extra lights. Over here, let's start from this bedroom down here. Now, for example, here pointing out the fact that this line right here, it's pretty obvious right there. I don't know, call me picky, but I don't know. There's just a poor job on the line. It just looks very off, especially from the side over here. If you zoom in, you can see the paint line is where they cut the line right there. It's just not the best, and that's because the tape that they put in there, it wasn't straight. And when you're buying a new home, sometimes you expect this to, them to have a good finish on the house. Now, this is something that I just noticed right now. As you can see, there's a discoloration right here on this side. So we're gonna ask them to come in and come fix this and maybe paint this out if they could. Hello? Hi, sir.
Hi, Taylor.
I'm just shooting a video right now for my clients, okay? Yeah. So we'll put something here. Maybe, I don't know, I wanted to tell the guy about it because it just looks weird. There's like a spot that is not the best. Although it could be the lights here. Let me see. No, that's just a paint error right there. So, there are a few mistakes, and things like that we point out they have to come and fix. Like, a little bit of, usually it's just paints mostly because that's just a matter of, the painter just missed a spot or something. So that's why we do the walkthrough so they can fix it before we close on the house. You got ceiling pre-wire here, beautiful size room. I mean, you're looking at a 12 by 10. Really, really good size. You got the extra cable plugs here for TV. Not bad. So right here you have a jumper. So what a jumper is, when sometimes you have the vents up here on the walls, and that's because you need to allow proper ventilation in the room, even when you close the door. If you've never noticed right here, when you have a door that is kind of like this, closed off, not all the way, but just a little bit, and then the air conditioning turns on, and then the door slams. The reason why that happens is because of the change in pressure in the rooms. So when you don't have those vents, what happens is the door is going to slam because obviously the air is going to move and it's going to move the door shut. But when you have this jumper cable right here, what it does is it allows all the air to be pulled out from the jumper. So this is connected to this right here, okay? What else? We went through this little area. This could be a nice office, perfect size. Over here we have your whole bathroom. Nothing crazy about it. We got cultural marble on it. Only one sink. There was an option to add a second sink, but they didn't option for it, obviously. You got a little bit of a side mirror here, cabinet. And then what this one is, the cool thing is that this is made of plastic, even the hinges. So it might be prone to a little bit more to break rather than having the metal hinges. But the reason why they do this is because when you're in the bathroom, there's humidity and splashes and stuff like that. So when the hinges get wet, they tend to stain and rust, So that's something that they do. Okay, it's all plastic. Not much to say about this. It was a little bit dirty. They didn't finish cleaning up very well. There was a stain right here on the tub. So we marked that so they can clean it. Not much to say about this fiberglass tub. And then, we got some recessed lights up there. Second bedroom right here. We got a few little marks right here. That's because of the paint job wasn't perfect, so we went through that and we fixed it. We marked it so that they can come in and fix it. But yeah, not bad. We got a pre-wire also. Love the pre-wires in the bedrooms because they kind of tend to be dark if you don't put a nice ceiling fan up there. So definitely something that you want to put into a house. That's definitely a great structural upgrade that I would add onto any home. Oh, right. This would be your doorbell. This is where it's gonna ring. Over here, we've got a coat closet. Now, I got a beautiful open floor plan here with the hydrangea, and I'm gonna show you in a second. Over here, we found a few more mistakes when it comes to the paint. So we got that marked. Let's go in here. Let's see what we have. You've got this entry from the garage door. So This will be your mud room. You can put a little bench right here if you want to, or something like a rack to put in your shoes when you come in. And yeah, let's see here. Big size laundry room. Now, one thing that this one doesn't have is a sink. That's something I would always add in a house. I know it's $1,500 or so to add a sink or the plumbing. Sometimes if they just do the plumbing, it's like $500. But if you have to add a sink as well, there's like $1,500. If it's only $500 to add the plumbing, I would definitely add it. The reason why is, as a realtor, I know I have plenty of clients that will not buy a home unless it has a sink in the laundry room. So consider that. As far as what you see here, this is the gas line for the washer, and then the vent discharge right here for the air that comes out from the dryer. Sorry, this is for the dryer. And then right here you have the washer. So you got the cold and hot water. And then over here, remember that discharge that I showed you earlier on top of the water softener loop? It's this, actually it's this pipe right here that comes over from there and it discharges into here. This pipe is connected to that pipe. That's what it was. That first pipe that we saw outside, that one is connected to this discharge area. And the reason why they do that is because of the water here in the washer. So it discharges out over outside in case there's some kind of leak or something, or a pressure problem. Got some GFCI outlets right there. Let's go see our living room. Look at this. Beautiful open floor plan. Now this house was $460 as you see it. Look how big that is. 9-foot ceilings, really open, plenty of recessed lights. We got 6 over there in the living room. Got another 6 here in your kitchen. Obviously it does not come with a refrigerator, so that's something my client has to purchase. It comes with this RO system, however. The issue with this RO system that I have, well, it's not RO system, that's the issue that I have. This is just a filtration system. And although they market it as if it's a good thing, it's actually not good to have that, because you might think that you're drinking good water, but unless you get an RO system, which is reverse osmosis system, do not drink the Las Vegas water. And I'll tell you why. You see, you got these right here, these filters. They're gonna do some great work, they're gonna clean up a little bit. But when you test the water, it's not gonna be significantly different than drinking just the tap water that comes out of your faucet. So what you have to do is you gotta get the RO system. RO system has a tank that is a pressure tank that pressurizes the water through those filters so that it really cleans it up from all the minerals and all the stuff that we put in here in Las Vegas, in the Las Vegas water, which is very hard water. And I would definitely recommend putting an RO system down here if I had a system like this one, or you just add it because they already have the system over here. We just need to, it costs like $165 on Amazon. So if you go to Amazon, you look at RO system, I think it's called water, what's it called? I don't remember the name of the system, but it's like $165 on Amazon, and it'll give you also a filter change. You have to change the filters every 6 months or so. So definitely something I would do. Right here you have some lighting, so whenever you open the door right here, you have some light underneath the sink, which is great. Let's see. Not much to say about this down here. And then right here you have the discharge for the dishwasher, in case there is an issue with the dishwasher and the water is not coming out great. What happens is you can discharge it from there, and it goes in here. You got a beautiful course in here, under-mounted sinks, a nice one-bay sink, which is beautiful. And one thing you have to check out, and I already did it for my clients, is go through all the counters right here and touch all the edges. Make sure there's no chips or anything that is damaged right here, because once you close on the house and you move in, they will not come and fix it for you, because they'll say, well, what if this happened after you move in and you moved in? So you got to make sure when you do that walkthrough, you go and check all the counters everywhere to make sure there's no chips or anything. Even on the paint, if there's like a scratch or something, they will not do it after the fact, after you move into the house. You got to make sure you check everything in the house, all the paint and all. Just because, you know, they're not gonna fix it later, so you're gonna have to fix it yourself. Nice backsplash, everything. The backsplash also has this grout right here that would need to be sealed, because as you're cooking right here, it might splash some oil or something. It goes onto the grout and it's gonna stain. Oil is gonna stain the grout and it's not gonna come off. So definitely something you wanna do right there. Plenty of plugs right here. And not much else to say right here. Nice size pantry. They even left, however, here some tile for the backsplash, which is great in case, you know, you want to replace it or something, or you need a little bit extra because it broke. You can always do that. There's also some paint, which is awesome. So if you need some paint and you want to paint it, this is what the builder does usually. They go ahead and leave you 5 gallons for each color that you have. Well, this is kind of empty, but this is the white that goes on the ceilings and on the doors and all that stuff. And this would be the what's it called? This Edgecomb gray kind of color, like a brown and a gray mix, that you can use for any touch-ups here in the house, because it's the same paint. Sometimes, even though it's the same paint and builders know what the color scheme of the paint is and all, what happens is if you get a new batch of paint, it might be a little bit different than this one. It's simply because all the paint is not the same, and you know, you might see a little bit of a difference if you start off with a different paint. Okay, so always keep that, you know, just in case you scratch a wall or something, you can always touch it up. Over here we got a little bit of a smart TV system, which you know, connects this plug right here with that one down there. So if you, let's say you put a nice stand right here, a TV stand, and then you want to have your TV on the wall, you can do that. You can install the TV, put the cables through here, they come out from here, and then you're not going to have any cables dangling under your TV. And then over here would be your living room. And right here is your dining room. As you can see, you have 2 lights over the dining room, which is awesome. And then you got 4 lights right here on your living room with the pre-wire in the middle, which is great. This is where your couches are gonna go all around here. And you're gonna watch some TV from here. Now this one as well, you know, there's some paint imperfections. As you can see, there's cracks and little things. So we always try to have the superintendent, tell the superintendent so they can fix that before we do the final walkthrough. We got an 8-foot door here, 8 by 6, and then this will lead us over to the backyard, which we saw earlier on. Also here, what happens is when they put in the drywall, sometimes the nails tend to come back out, and when the stucco kind of dries, and you see some little cracks right here, you always want the builder to take care of those. Okay, and the same up there. So. Done and done. And don't feel any pressure when you do your walkthrough orientation. Make sure you mention everything, even if it's like a little thing that you don't like for example, that paint right there. They just did a really poor job cutting that line, and I mentioned it, but sometimes buyers, they feel like a little bit, I don't want to say it because I don't want to bother them. No, this is a new home. It's supposed to have a good standard of a good built standard. And if you don't have that, you should claim it and just, point it out. So that's the purpose of the orientation. You see these little scratches and things like that. Look at that. Look at a big scratch. It happens, and they don't deliver the product perfectly, and it's usually just scratches or paints mostly, but sometimes you find some bigger issues as well. As far as Taylor Morrison here, they've done a good job so far, and I think this is just minor things that you find everywhere. Love this master, great size. You have about 14 feet right here by 16. Yeah, probably 13 by 16. And then you have over here the same smart TV setup right there. And then what Glenn fell in love with was this beautiful walk-in shower. And you know, this is definitely an upgrade. You have the same culture marble that you saw in that other bathroom. You have it here on the walls. You got the glass door right here. And one thing about this glass door, look how thick it is. So nice heavy glass. It's not one of those cheap ones. Works great. You've got 2 shower heads, the rainfall. You also get a nice seat. Over here with this culture marble, when they put on the seams, you just have to caulk it right there with some silicone, and that's it. And you know, there's nothing to clean and to worry about, not like tile where you need to go in there and fix that tile. As far as this, they did a nice finish on it. This is cement. Okay, so they just finished it with the same color as your walls. So they really did a good job on this one. It looks amazing. Yep, I like it. No grout. Alright, so over here you got our 2 sinks. You know, obviously we went in and we checked all the cabinets. Fortunately, the cabinets were all good and in great conditions. But under-mounted sinks are included here in the base price when you buy a home here at Taylor Morrison. You got your water closet. We tested everything, all the, you know, we flushed the toilets and everything. One thing you have to consider is, yes, you want to do the walkthrough here, the orientation, but you have a year warranty on everything if anything happens. And here at Taylor Morrison, they even give you a 2-year warranty on your electrical, plumbing, and all the systems. And then 10-year warranty on structural, obviously, because in case there's something wrong with the frame or the foundation, they'll come in and fix it. Over here is your access to the attic. They put that. That's where your air conditioning people or the HVAC people will go up there to go and fix the HVAC. And then, yeah, not much else to see about this house. I hope this video was informational and it gave you a little bit of an insight on what we do on a walkthrough. If you guys need any help with your real estate needs, if you're looking for a realtor that is going to watch out for you and you know, is going to get you into a house, you got to get a realtor that is, as I said, especially if you're buying a new home, a new home specialist. And then in addition to that, you got to get somebody that is has the right connections with the right people so that you can get a house, which is the most important thing. And also you don't have any hiccups throughout the whole process. And then, you know, when you do your walkthrough, your final walkthrough, you have somebody that represents you. And that way the closing goes as smooth as possible. And, you know, if you don't have a realtor already and you need help, feel free to reach out to me. My information is going to be down below in the description. And I hope you enjoyed this home video tour and you got some value out of it. I will catch you guys on the next video. Goodbye.